This broadcast will focus on a category of anomaly that has received little attention in previous advisories, not because these entities are harmless or insignificant, but because they are rare, subtle, and easily overlooked when compared to the humanoid anomalies that dominate urban environments. Tonight we turn our attention to anomalous flora, specifically trees that may possess far more life than you would ever expect. Anomalous flora once existed in far greater numbers across the world. Most of these species have since vanished, lost to shifting climate patterns, industrial expansion, and the steady collapse of natural ecosystems. A small number, however, have endured, persisting quietly alongside us, often unnoticed. The most famous and thoroughly documented example is the Elder Vane trees, or rather, the Elder Vane, as only one confirmed specimen remains. The next awakening of the Great Elder Vane is projected for late February. Those wishing to observe the event or potentially pose a question to the tree may secure reservations through the official Office of Anomaly Safety website. As many of you already know, Elder Vane awakenings occur once every 3 months and last for 3 days, drawing visitors from multiple zones to witness what is considered one of the oldest living anomalous beings in existence. Once widespread, these trees possess the rare ability to communicate clearly with humans. This capacity arose from a shared consciousness. Each Elder Vane experienced what the others experienced, exchanging memories and sensations across vast distances. This collective awareness made them exceptionally intelligent, capable of answering most questions with striking clarity. While not truly omniscient like the all-knowing beast, they offered profound insight into history, human behavior, and anomaly evolution. Some visitors described their conversations as comforting. Others found them deeply unsettling. The final surviving Elder Vane now stands within a protected forest range in Zone 7, where it has become both a cultural landmark and a controlled tourist site. If you plan to visit during the next awakening, we urge patience and respect. This entity is ancient, the last of its kind. Its origins remain unknown, and according to the tree itself, even it no longer remembers where its species came from. What it does remember is how they came to the brink of extinction. At the beginning of the 19th century, humans discovered that Elder Vane wood was exceptionally valuable for lumber. Despite their immense size and dense trunks, the trees were surprisingly easy to fell. When awakened, they emitted guttural screams of agony as chainsaws cut into them, but this did little to slow the logging industry. Many chose to ignore the sounds in exchange for profit. Furniture crafted from Elder Vane wood commanded extreme prices, prized for both its rarity and anomalous origin. Demand escalated rapidly, resulting in widespread deforestation. By the time forest protection groups attempted to intervene, only a handful of Elder Vanes remained worldwide. Those that survived carried an immense burden of pain. Through their shared consciousness, each Elder Vane experienced not only its own suffering, but the final moments of every tree that was destroyed. Despite this collective trauma, records indicate they never developed hostility toward humanity. Most surviving Elder Vanes endured simply because they were considered too old, too remote, or not worth the effort to harvest. The final remaining tree survived primarily due to its location deep within the forests of Zone 7, in a region long rumored to be the nesting ground of a higher vampire. Loggers avoided the area entirely. The tree was officially discovered and placed under Office of Anomaly Safety Protection in 2004. Since then, the tree has confirmed that all other Elder Vanes have reached the natural end of their life cycles and withered away. However, there is at least one documented incident in which human involvement did not lead to the destruction of an anomalous tree, but instead contributed directly to its continued existence. This incident occurred in late 2017 when the Office of Anomaly Safety began receiving an unusually high number of missing persons reports from Zone 11. Campers and hikers were vanishing without a trace. No bodies were recovered. No signs of struggle were observed. Initial assessments suggested a roaming anomaly, possibly an underkin pack or a Dominion-class entity establishing a nesting ground. The region contained a dense population of Ulthar Pines, which had expanded rapidly in recent years. They were not considered suspects. Ulthar pines are an anomalous pine species found primarily in zones 3, 10, and 11. They evolved in nutrient-poor soil and adapted by feeding on small passing animals. Unlike Elder Vanes, they possess no consciousness and no ability to communicate. Their feeding mechanism is rudimentary. When a small animal approaches, the branches constrict and release a specialized sap that induces paralysis. The tree then drains the animal's blood, leaving the remains at its roots to decompose and fertilize the soil. Ulthar pines, however, are inefficient predators. Their branches lack significant strength, and their sap is largely ineffective against creatures larger than a dog. Even if a stronger variant existed, investigators noted that physical remains should have been recovered. By the end of 2018, reports had become so frequent that the Office of Anomaly Safety stationed a permanent field team in Zone 11. The truth emerged one night when agents observed a group of individuals moving through the forest with torches. They were seen transporting a bound person toward a cluster of Ulthar pines. The individual was later identified as a camper reported missing 4 days earlier. According to official reports, the group attempted to force-feed the captive a liquid from a bowl near the trees. Agents intervened immediately. A confrontation followed, resulting in the successful recovery of the hostage and the apprehension of 3 suspects. Early questioning suggested cult activity, though the individuals initially refused to cooperate. After extended interrogation by veteran OAS personnel, the full scope of the situation became clear. A cult had established itself within a natural cave system deep in the forests of Zone 11. The group worshipped an entity they called the Blood God and believed Ulthar Pines served as physical proxies for this being. Through ritual sacrifice, they believed they could earn favor ahead of the Blood God's prophesied arrival in the year 2025. No records of such an entity exist within OAS archives. The cave system was immediately secured. Approximately 70 cult members were apprehended. Many were residents of nearby villages. Others were members of a circus caravan that had passed through the region years earlier and never left. Inside the caves, agents discovered ritual implements, extensive written material, and the dried remains of 38 victims.
There's something they never followed up on. 70 detained. No trial records, no relocation notices, no release documentation. Some of them were violent, yes, but most of them weren't. They were victims, brainwashed into believing the lies of the founding members, threatened into subservience, but they all vanished into the same filing category.
Further investigation revealed the cult had engineered a highly potent paralytic agent by combining Ulthar pine sap with the venom of a frog species native to Zone 11. Victims were abducted, restrained, drugged, and sacrificed to the trees under the belief that the Blood God was observing. As these incidents suggest, anomalous flora rarely presents the immediate aggressive threat associated with humanoid anomalies. Trees do not pursue, imitate, or seek out human contact. As a result, they are often classified as low-risk or passive entities. The intent of this broadcast is not to discourage interaction with nature, nor to suggest that all flora should be treated with suspicion. It is simply to remind viewers that even entities perceived as simple or passive can become lethal. Dusk broadcast signing off. Stay tuned, stay safe.